Welcome everyone, Joe with ECRM here at our sessions in Germany, and with me is Heather Jackson, the co-founder and CEO of GenM. They have a menopause-related certification. We're going to get into all the details about that. So thanks for joining us. To give us a start, tell us a little bit about your background and GenM.
Okay, no problems. Well, I'm the CEO, as just rightly said, CEO and co-founder of GenM, the menopause partner of brands and home of the MTIC. The MTIC is the universal symbol for menopause-friendly shopping, and it's a symbol and a certification to actually bring visibility, choice and trust for the menopausal consumer and actually deliver trust, visibility and credibility for the retailer and brand to know that this is a trusted symbol with its accreditation that can actually help 15.5 million women in the UK, 75 million women in the USA and 1 billion globally shop with confidence for a better lived experience of their menopause. That sums it up.
Awesome. Well, you guys got your start with a retailer, right? You talk about the origin?
Did. Well, the MTIC wasn't just created on an A4 piece of paper and we've just gone on with it. We actually took that A4 piece of paper to Boots Walgreen. Boots, the most trusted brand in the world, well, one of the most trusted brands in the world. And we went, we've got a symbol that we think can be game-changing, legacy-making and category-creating. And this is it, but we need you to actually help us build the accreditation around it to give it the trust. And within 6 minutes of the pitch, they went, we're in, how can we help you? And so for a year, they worked with us on the certification, testing it in 1,000 stores on 150 products. And then 3 years ago, we launched it in the UK to retailers and to brands. And now we've got 12 of the biggest retailers in the UK working on designated permanent online space for menopause friendly and in-store space. And we've got over 120 of the biggest brands actually united in going through their MTIC certification so that every product that goes on a designated space that's menopause friendly will do what it says on the label. It will have the right ingredients, the right technology to actually help support, ease or relieve any one of the 48 signs a woman may be experiencing in her life transition of menopause, which can last up to 15 years. So this is a consumer that has been underserved and overlooked, and it's her time. She deserves better to live that menopause experience. So that's what this is about.
Now, you mentioned one thing that really got my interest with this is I'm going to be 54 in December. A lot of my friends in my age group are starting to go through menopause. I see what they're going through. Now, you mentioned this is a really valuable market. Can you talk about some of the reasons why it's so valuable?
Well, as I said, there's 48 signs of menopause, and most women in the UK and across Europe and America can only name 3 to 5 signs. Now, if you don't know what you're looking for, you don't know you're in it, and actually that is why so many women, only 5% of women feel confident in their menopausal years and only 2% are thriving. And yet, if we understood more about our menopause, if we could treat it like you would a marathon, you know, menopause isn't a disease, it's a life transition, and it's one that you should prepare for if you had the right supplements, nutrients, products, services understood through your health and your eating and your and your exercise, what you should be doing, would be in a better place. And actually, we decided it was the role of the retailer and the brands to understand that there's 48 signs of menopause and there's 48 opportunities for that retailer to serve her better. Because again, you know, 85% of women will say they're living a not bad experience. You try being in a room with a woman who's not living a bad experience, you'll realise it could be better. And the role of the retailer and the brands and GenM is to actually make not that bad better. And if we can get more women thriving in this period, economically, we'll change the world because the highest rate of women leaving the workplaces in this period of time. Relationship-wise, the highest rate of relationship breakdowns is in this time, and actually, unfortunately, the highest rate of suicides is as well. So not only are we going to show today in our presentation how it's a commercial opportunity for brands, but it's a purposeful opportunity to actually make change society happen and change the rhetoric and serve this consumer better.
That's great. And I didn't realize, I looked through the 48 that you listed in your presentation, and I could see the opportunity there because it crosses so many categories.
It covers every category of retail, from health and beauty and nutrients and supplements, the easy ones, right through to electrical, clothing, apparel, food, nutrition. There isn't one category of retail that cannot do better for this menopausal woman. And actually, if you allow her to thrive, the world thrives. So You know, don't forget, this is your highest consumer spender. She's the biggest decision maker, and you know, she's just one of your most powerful consumers in the world. And yet right now our research shows that women in menopause by retailers and brands feel underserved, overlooked, and invisible. And actually that's not a great place to make your consumer, who is one of your most powerful consumers, feel. Give her what she needs, what she wants, and what she deserves, and she'll bring you back the loyalty and the trust that you need to have a successful business.
Well, I think it's important that you're doing this. I mean, I see on social media, you see a lot of things related to wellness, whether it's weightlifting, whether it's functional medicine, things like that. There are a few people out there talking about living with menopause, but not that many compared to others. So it's good that you're kind of pushing this. So how does one get certified? Who should get certified? What's the process?
Well, firstly, to get a GenM partnership, any retailer and brand can join GenM. GenM, it's a partnership. They join to commit to understand, support, and serve menopause better, because quite frankly, no one's doing it as good as it needs to be. But then after that, every one of those brands' products that they believe are menopause friendly, we will take through an MTIC certification process, that we have the highest regarding team that are all with our compliance to actually make sure that the actual supplement, the nutrient, the product actually does what it says on the label, and it will support, ease or relieve any one of the 48 symptoms. Because right now in the UK, America, and across the world now, there's been a lot of talk about meno washing, with brands and retailers jumping on the bandwagon of menopause. Well, actually there are brands out there that are doing that, but actually what GenM does is protect those that are doing it properly. It's the right thing to do. It's your right audience to serve better, but you want to be able to prove you're doing it respectfully, you're doing it with efficacy, and your product does what it says on the label. And we can't afford to mess this up. It's the most, we're building, as Kantar have been able to recognise with us, we're building the most exciting, vibrant, inclusive, accessible category to retail that's been grown in a long time. If you think about it, 3% of the population are vegan. It's taken 40 years for you all to grow that vegan market. You know, that's been done because of the marketeers, the brands inside ECRM today and everything else have all united to understand, support and know that vegan audience. But remember, the vegan audience used to be 40 years ago taboo, niche, punk, animal rights. And actually, it's a life choice. When yet the whole world has not recognised that there's a 20% opportunity of women who, every woman will enter menopause, but they have no life choice. This is them. So where's their signposting, marketing, customer experience, everything else? And so GenM has united the world of retail and brands, and we're just about to go global with this, to actually really deliver on the needs and the demands of this woman, and she will get what she deserves, and you will get it brought back in reams with, profits, the commercial growth of it, but also in loyalty and trust. And this is a woman that, like I say, is going through this for up to 15 years. Can you afford not to serve her better?
So how are brands and retailers leveraging the certification?
Okay, well, they're leveraging it in every which way, because, there's a meno chain here. Actually, to build out a category, you've got to have a chain. You've got to have the supply, you've got to have the manufacturers, you've got to have the retailers, you have to have the brands, and then you have to have the consumer. And GenM, with our MTIC, unites every part of this and brings it all together. So how are the retailers leveraging it? Well, one, they're actually looking to put designated space in. Now in the UK, the biggest retailer is called Tesco, and Tesco set out to do a pilot designated space for menopause. After 3 months, they stopped the pilot they were doing, and they've made it permanent. They're now growing it out, as is every other retailer in the UK now. The biggest retailers, I can name them all, who we're working with. They're giving designated space online and in store, because actually the proof's there. It'll upsell, it'll actually deliver what she's needing from this, and actually, the market and the value of it is incredible. Incremental growth is guaranteed, and it's just a game-changing time for menopause. So not only will we have the increased basket size, but actually increased spend, and this again is of that consumer who absolutely has been waiting this for all of her life.
And it's great. You're making a consumer with specific needs feel seen.
Completely.
And included.
And I think as well, you know, what we are doing is I'm not a retail leader, but I am, as a perimenopausal consumer who's been a consumer all my life, we are leading retail now to think differently about how they actually serve audiences. It's not just about going down a health, beauty and wellness, and it's not just about then going over to the food. It's actually, should we be shopping life transitions? And I actually ask this all the time, and I think the answer is yes. And we start with the life transition of menopause, the highest consumer spender, the biggest decision maker, the most powerful consumer right now in the world. And actually, if we can make it work for her, we can make it work for other transitions of life as well. And I think it's time now for retail and brands to really think differently. And actually, we're all chasing the trends of today. Menopause isn't a trend, it's a forever market. And actually, like I say, serve it better, and it's yours for the owning.
Awesome. So last question for brands interested in pursuing the certification and the MTIC. How do they do it?
Well, firstly, they get, if you look onto our site, www.gen-m.com, you can't go wrong. Go onto the contacts and we'll get a representative talking to you straight away. But also remember, we're a collaboration. Joining GenM isn't just about getting the MTIC. Joining GenM gives you a whole reel of benefits that actually unite the brands to the retailers to the brands. So if you're a challenger brand or a disruptor or a new to market brand, come and talk to us as well. Because if you've got the right product and the right ingredients, we can help you actually get visibility with those retailers as well. And the retailers are all looking for wider choices. They get introduced to you as well. Collaboration is the only way you can drive real change to the change, but collaboration is the only way you can grow a great category. This is going to be the world's most inclusive, accessible category, going over 48 signs and symptoms, representing 48 opportunities. Get in touch with us and let's make this happen, because menopause impacts every category, but more importantly, it impacts every woman in your life, from your mother to your work colleague to your lover to your daughter. Every woman counts in this, and if you want to make the menopause better for her, start within your company and work with us right now. Thanks very much.
So if there's a brand that has a line of products that are not aimed at menopause consumers, but they're thinking of creating them, is that too early to reach out?
Let's just cover this out. Menopause friendly doesn't necessarily mean it's menopause specific.
Okay.
There are some incredible products out there in the beauty world and the health and wellness that haven't actually marketed to a menopausal woman, and yet they've got the right ingredients in.
Okay.
So I think the first port of call is to look at our site and see the 48 signs, and then you will go, oh my God, we've got so many products here that can help support ease or relief. And then should you want to then go into menopause specific in the future, you can do, but actually this is all about just signposting great products that a menopausal woman can use. And one more thing to add, do not worry about if you're marketing to a young brand at the moment or a young female brand, the MTIC, with our research and everything else, has proven that it doesn't put off a young woman from buying. She actually respects the fact that this is a brand that I can stay loyal to through my life transition. So yeah, menopause friendly does not mean menopause specific. Menopause friendly means what's your products out there that actually could ease, support or relieve any one of the 48 signs a woman may be experiencing.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. Thanks for presenting later. Looking forward to that. And it's great that you're actually addressing this audience. So I look forward to seeing how it progresses.
Brilliant. And anyone wants to link in with me on LinkedIn, please do so. You'll easily find me, and I'll easily connect back and be in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.